Alright, I'm Wavdium. I woke up and ate an apple. I am a bit late to this. So, House of Spiders, the next Nursefather Yi-sang. Something that I noticed during the trailer is that it was Blunt, Pierce, and Swash for the stills. Or I don't think it's the Swash one. So in the fight, it was they had one of each damage type for each of his free stills. They just had a different damage type variation. So, but this one only has just a Blunt, Pierce, and Swash. So, there's 3 pages. So, there's a Precept device. So, this is the same sort of one as the previous ones. But, Procuration Hermes? Procuration? Hermes? Procuration? They repeat this until X stacks. There is some differences here. And Drace of Precept. Also has some limits there as well. Won't get the 4th one done with all enemies. So, Procuration Hermes, turn start at X stack, powerful still becomes available. Can be gained up to unlock stage plus X stacks per turn. At below unlock stage, this effect special stack is limited to Y. So instead of it being a Shin Ren, it's now Shin Fei. So I know some of this first had Shin, it was just their name. So now it's just Shin Fate because it's YiSang's identity. Minimax speed plus X. Then more poise, potency, and talent from base stills. Use SP is higher than targets, deal more damage for every X SP difference. Units for SP are to be at 0 SP. Okay, gain offense level and lose defense level from the wound tasking mass. Take less damage from unopposed attacks. Then Sizzling Wound, gain offense level, lose defense level, so I'm assuming it's more. Take less damage from unopposed attacks. Turns like gain burn and bleed. Gain more damage with base attack stills, unbreakable toins. Indulge in the pre-strips. So this is the we're supposed to be the debuff. Hold on. Yeah, for I think the normal boss fight, that is the debuff that you give them when you win a trash with a certain still. When they're doing certain stills. Minimax speed plus X. Apply the following effects to Furious of Replica. On hit, inflict more sinking potency and gain more poise potency. On hit, inflict sinking talent. Deal more damage expires at turn end. Desire for acknowledgement stated. Deal more damage with stills marked with pre-strip. Oh, I'm assuming that's for Dawn. Alright. And then there's all of these then. So when hacking through the ribs of a hatchet, 1 damage, without tracking the poise potency. When penetrating the lungs of a stiletto, this toin deals pierce damage on hit while tracking for sinking potency. When retrieving through the shoulder and the skull of a bastard sword, this toin deals swash. This toin deals more damage on hit without tracking the offensive up next turn. When punching 10 or more holes in the torso of a rapier, this toin deals pierce damage. This toin deals more damage on without tracking, defense level down next turn. When caving in the back of a skull of a hammer, blunt damage, deals more blunt damage without tracking, restarted stagger threshold by X. When rending the body with a great sword, slash, more damage. Without tracking, slash fragility next turn. And then pierce and blunt fragility on D. When boring a 20-inch hole with a lance. And then of course pierce, more damage, pierce fragility. When ripping the flesh to 10,000 stripes with a whip. Blunt damage, more damage, and blunt fragility. When wasting through space itself with scythe by concerning someone, slash. While tracking, hits a guaranteed crit. Alright. So that is the 3rd page. Now if we go back to the passives, we're into the actual stills here. So pre-strip around device, so this is some more pre-strip stuff. Yeah, I don't think I really need to. Pre-strip execution checks not triggered when you're staggered. Yeah, I think I don't need to cover that, because it should be the same as the previous 2. The Oracle's proxy is unlocked. Turn in. If pre-strip was executed this turn at below unlock stage X, heal SP and name Drace in the pre-strip. When executing pre-strip, if the main target has the pre-strip's target, heal even more SP and gain even more Drace in the pre-strip instead. Turn end. This unit is at unlock stage X. If pre-strip device free was executed this turn, heal SP. When executing pre-strip, if Procuration Hermes has reached X stacks, heal even more SP and gain Drace of the pre-strip. Turn end. If pre-strip was not executed this turn, gain Traumatic Consequence. At unlock stage X, does not gain Traumatic Consequence. If this unit attempted to execute pre-strip at combat start, but could not target the enemy during the combat phase, does not gain Traumatic Consequence at turn end. Applies at below unlock stage X. Turn end at X straight to the pre-strip, then unlocked 1, 2, 3, and then of course, that's depending on how much you have. So there's be 3, 6, 9, and then at unlock stage X, gain Shin Fate. Passive, the Index Nursefather. Upon entering the counter for the first time, gain Wound Tasting Mask. Turn end. This unit was staggered for the first time in this encounter while under this effect. Recover for stagger, extruding force stagger. And then vert Wound Tasting Mask to Sizzling Wound. Apply Desire for Acknowledgement sated to the Xbox FC Ego Procuration. The Ontrix out when both units are on field. So of course, if you remember here. So offensive will up, defensive will down. One steps for unopposed attacks. While the other one will gain burn and bleed potency at turn start, while this thing further increasing it, and then increases unbreakable toys. So interestingly, if I remember correctly from the boss fight, it was count, but now it's just potency. So I'm assuming if you're fighting enemies that apply burn or bleed, having more talent will be way more detrimental to the player than just having potency there. So I'm assuming they swapped the potency for that. Yeah, so at least they did keep, some parts of, like, yeah, they do lose some stuff over time. Oracle device, Tadicus. A random weapon is assigned to every 20 for base attack skills. Each weapon has a unique effect, and then there's some of them. When Procuration Hermes, gain Procuration Hermes, redeeming skills with Mark of the Pre-Strip. Then, convert Wound Tasting Mask to Sizzling Wound at the end of the turn. So use Furious Welcome for the first time in the counter. And so if this unit has Sizzling Wound and has Furious Welcome on the dashboard, then Indulgence in Pre-Strips. So if they have, if they're in the second phase version, they gain that for their Furiosa Replica. Alright. So yeah, interesting. I want to see what other ways they would be doing the so in the fight, it was only once you get them to 75 HP to swap the phase to. So I know in the trailer, it was both after Furiosa Replica and after stagger. So I think those are only two ways to get it. Since I'm saying if you're getting staggered, you're at low enough HP. So I think it does make sense there. So that answers that. It's just those two that was shown in the trailer. Imitation of Life. So this is their should be their actual passive. Deal more damage with stills with Mark of the Pre-Strip for every X Drace of the Pre-Strip on self. At Y Drace of the Pre-Strip, deal more damage with base stills instead. On hit with base attack stills Unbreakable Toys, gain Procuration Hermes. Attack end, gain Procuration Hermes equal to the number of remaining Unbreakable Toys. Furious Wilka attack done. Gain Procuration Hermes next turn equal to number of this stills remaining Unbreakable Toys divided by X rounded down. I'm assuming if it doesn't use all of them, like if you killed them all before, then you gain some Procuration Hermes back. Yeah, Procuration Hermes is the X stacks at this turn's end. If it does not have a still free on the dashboard at the start of the next turn, convert a base still free, versus a still on the leftmost still swap bottom row. Convert a base still free. I'm assuming that is, yeah, I assume that's free too. Does it mean free too to Furiosa Replica? And Race of Dawn support passive. The emotions with Slash Pierce and base attack skills are used for the first time by any ally each turn. Once pure type across all allies. These identities deal even more damage instead. This effect's application is determined before attack. Alright. Yeah, so I thought how the things sort of the Procuration Hermes is for every time they use one of the weapons. I thought that's how they got it, and it's like once pure still. So as long as they used once the still, and then either they use a toy, don't have to hit it, the enemy can dodge, but that still counts as one of the 9 for the boss fight. Wait, it's 9, right? Yeah, 9. Yeah, when you use it for Mark. So it's different for YiSang. So now it's with Mark of the Pre-Stripped instead. So Dane Procuration Hermes using it with Mark of the Pre-Stripped. And then, because the boss, of course, doesn't have Mark of the Pre-Stripped for selecting their stills. It's just the opposite where it's only targeting. With this identity, they change it instead of using each of the 9 weapons. But instead it's just, oh, use the stills with Mark of the Pre-Stripped. For every Unbreakable Toy remaining after attack, you gain more Mark of the you gain more Procuration Hermes. So I sort of wish that you would keep it with as the weapon version, where it's just, oh, use all 9 weapons, so it's similar to Roland. But I'm assuming maybe they didn't want it to be like that, because maybe that would be, well, yeah, that would be, if they kept it where it's like 1 every turn, they would take 9 turns to ramp up Furiosa Replica. So I think they wanting to use it more often. So that's why they changed it. It's like, oh, if it's just leftover, use the pre-strip still, gain the Procreation Hermes, and then Unbreakable Toys. Alright, let me see what the Unbreakable Toys are. So, let me see. Enwrap 330 times in long swaths of frozen blood. At X minus my confidence divided by Y, chance to produce a blunt weapon. Towards using blunt weapons deal plus Z% damage. Wait, there's no negative effects for the other ones. Hold on. No, it's just buffs if they did the right weapon. Oh. Yeah, so I know with, at least in phase 2 with, Ren, if they have Tomorrow Confidence and don't get the right weapon type for their skills, it does less damage. So they removed that for the identity. So now it'll just be only positives. So if it's a different damage type, there's no negatives. Okay, so does mark precept in trash power and deal more damage. Gain toin power for X poise on self plus sticking on target. On use, convert toins equal to unlock stage minus X to unbreakable toins, beginning with the final toin. So probably because the final ones. So that second toin has only second toin has anything. Just poise potency and without tracking sinking. First poise count. Hopefully the poise count is good. Since the index ones have not been good at sinking. Most of them were just on trick with the last toin for the talent. So hopefully they can keep their poise. I was trying out some of their index one or Dawn. Their poise is not too stable, at least in the EX or Fred Vocations. But revel with soundless applause, impale in voiceless sorrow. Alright, so at X Master Mark Contrast, so same thing. More traumatic contrast, less chance to produce a pierce weapon. I'm assuming that's how that thing goes. There's no numbers here yet, but I'm assuming that's how it'll work. Because that's how the boss worked. Mark the pre-strip, they gain final power if the skill was marked. They gain toin power for every X poise on self plus sticking on target. On use, convert toins equal to unlock states of breakable toins, being with the final toin. So nothing for the first toin. Second toin, sneaking potency. Third toin, on hit, gain poise talent. So be it potency to start with, you need the third toin for the talent, and that will become the unbreakable. On hit without tracking and sinking talent. So you can just frick the no need for a trit on that, which is good. But on trit, it's poise count for the third still. Rise and waft the blade. Try the waterfall like the scent of fallen leaves. And at X Procreation Hermes, change the still to Furiosa Replica. Purchase the still on leftmost slots bottom row on the dashboard for use. At West and X Procreation Hermes, use as still free. And confidence, low chance to use slash weapons. Torn using slash weapons deal plus Z% damage. If this still is marked with mark of the pre-strip, deal more damage. Then toin power. Wait, so it's just more damage for mark of the pre-strip. So nothing to help you with thrashing or final power for thrashing as well. No, it'll just be more damage %. So you gain toin power for X poise on self plus sinking on target. On use, convert toins equal to unlock stage into plus X into unbreakable toins. So plus X, so I'm assuming that's guaranteed one unbreakable at the end. Oh, yeah, was it with the other ones? No, the other ones were just based on unlock stage minus X for the first one. This was unlock stage plus assuming 1, so last one will be guaranteed. Unbreakable toins, then with the final toin. Unused stain poise count, and then poise equal to unlock stage. So if you don't have poise, like if it's broken midway through, there's still to lose 1 poise at turn end. You'll still gain some potency based on your unlock stage. So first toin is nothing. Second toin is poise potency. Third toin is sinking potency. Fourth toin deals more damage every X unlock stage, so % damage. On trit, you gain your poise count, and on hit without tracking is sinking count on the final toin. So both these second and third have sinking count for the final toin, which is the first one to become unbreakable. But usually you'll be winning your trashes with these modern ones. Which are very low sanity. Yes, the luck's not there, but yeah. So if my guess is similar to how most modern consumable negative stats effects, it will be 1 minus the amount of toins sinking count. That is my guess. So I'm guessing 2 and then 3 on here. It could be higher or lower, but that is my guess currently. So by unpredictable whim, at unlock stage X, gain toin power. Time at start, Dane Poise Talent. On invade, Dane Poise Potency. Turn at below unlock stage X, activate the following effects. Dane unlock stage Y. If Jason Precept stack is less than X, raise the stack to Y. And Dane X Traumatic Consequence at the start of the next turn for every Y Jason Precept Dane the effect above. So I'm pretty sure the other index ones also have this. We're using defense still. You'll Dane Traumatic Consequence, but it will increase your Jason Precept and unlock stage up. So, but now, Furioso Replica on Focused Volley. Only one copy of this still can exist on the dashboard. If this still is marked with Mark of the Prescript, deal more damage. This still's toying power does not change. Instead, for every X net toying power increase, gain final power and deal more damage. That's even stronger than toying power. Actually, no. Final power is be a static buff instead of multiplying for every. Okay, but the more percent damage though. All right. Still is not affected by Pairwise. Wait, no, I don't remember Ren being like that. Wait, what? Yeah, Ren gains Pairwise when using his Furioso. I don't know why. Just now you're immune to Pairwise. Oh wow, this is immune to Pairwise. Even if it's just but yeah, he's supposed to gain Pairwise with Masters, but apparently it's not affected by Pairwise. Wait. Wait, I forgot. You're the player using it. So, I'm assuming it'll be +1 coins. It'll be fixed to +1, right? You have to make it like +2 or something. Since it's not unbreakable. For auto stills, why is that combat start thing? Why don't I just have the still just be unbreakable? Why combat start convert all coins on the still to unbreakable coins? Okay, well, gain final power for X poise on self plus sinking on target. Inflict sinking or poise with every hit of this still. So that's staying poise. So that's with every coin, every hit. And it does not gain Procreation Hermes for this turn. On use, gain flash power. So I'm assuming it'll be very low, final power still. So it'll be 4, 9? Is it 9? Alright, so it's not assuming all weapons then. So I'm assuming it's going to only be 9 power, but you gain flash power to help flash while using it, so you can use it and not, have an enemy SWAT though unaccounted for. So gain poise and poise talent. Now, will it have enough for all 9 coins, or only be part of it because you're not going to be critting everyone? Or maybe you are if you did enough poise potency during it or beforehand. After attack, inflict burn, bind, and fragile next turn to all targets you hit. Consume all Procreation Hermes. IX. Weapon assigned to this turn is fixed as such. That's the 9th one. Do more damage on critical hit on if attacking inflict sinking talent. Because he finishes off with the scythe as the actual boss fight. So yeah, I do think it's more interesting seeing how they change the boss fight to be identity. So I know this is pretty common. Because of course, it can't be accurate. So look how Don Beck had no sinking. Instead, they had a special thing to reduce sanity. They were rupture. Identity didn't have that. So this one, it'll be interesting. Of course, the most pointless thing here: convert all coins on the still to unbreakable coins. When they could have said all the coins be unbreakable. Well, it is different with how this one is reused coin, and then the last one, it's just reused coin. Yeah. Instead of that, they want to make it just 9 coin, instead of just single reused coin, or a second coin just for the scythe. Reuse the first coin, then the second coin. Said no, it's 9 coins instead of I am probably not the. I just spoke up. So I'm probably not the best to know indefiniteness, but I think I did the gist of it. That's the right word, like a gist of how this identity functions. So of course the numbers as well. This is the offense level. But yeah, it seems like this has a lot of percent damages. But I feel like because of that, it will make them more of a glass cannon sort of unit. Of course, also want to see how the trashing for Furioso Replica does do in gameplay. This one doesn't have any for. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't have the thing. Yeah, it doesn't have the random weapon bonuses. Yeah, this one didn't have the EX. It uses all the weapons, so it would make sense for it to not have it. Yeah. Yeah, but there's no Tarmatic Constituents Fortuna. There's only the base Tarmatic Constituents on here. Where is that? I don't think I see it. No, okay, so Tarmatic Constituents doesn't really... Yeah, usually before it was just for the negative statuses for the... Yeah, they just did the shield on the defense stills, I think, for the other index ones. So for here, it'll just be West for the weapons, and no other debuffs. And of course, once you get enough Drace of Pre-Strip, there is no more Tarmatic Constituents anymore. You won't gain any more, you'll be stuck with the ones you have. So I wish they would have also had spending more Tarmatic Constituents as more negative statuses, while, you know, making sure that, because they do get buffs on the other thing, so it's offsetted by the other buffs, but... I'm assuming they don't want to, yeah, I'm assuming they want them to be stronger instead of having that. But yeah, I will now move on to the actual patch notes now. But first, we have the Twitter. So there is a new mirror. I did see that you posted. Mirror of Names and Spiders is an update notice. So Ham, Pang, I think it's one of the pop-up ones they mentioned before. So yeah, pop-up store. So there is Mission 1, 2, and 3. Trying to sell you stuff, I guess. Okay. And we have staff, counter, yep. You did Ego Diff badges. Oh yeah, those things are... So I'm assuming you pay money, it's like a, you know, like gambling thing. And then they have the EX Ego Diffs as the rare items, but I feel like most people would want these instead, like the actual center things. There's Drogue Sands of the Ring Pointillis. Is that 7 Association Foss, Sink East Dawn, Woofering Heights Chief No, Ender Family Chief Butler, DSC Merceau, Yodavi Hongwu, Kumo Heath, Pequod Captain Ishmael, DSC Rhodia, Sink East, no, Sink South, Sinclair. Is that W Torp Otis, I think? And Fire Fist? Oh man, the Fire Fist Red one. I like that one. Okay, that one was... But I feel like, of course, the main thing people would want is going to be the Sinner Balls. Are these like little plushies maybe? Like little T-chain ones, I think? I think I see like a little metal chain. I don't have a translation tool on me, but I'm assuming it's gonna be something like that. Of course, the rarest thing is the EX Ego Diff. I'm assuming these are pins, maybe? Yeah, like pins? That's what I think. Oh, these Dosipium. As far as Lunar Memory wasn't part of the EX. Oh yeah, that was before the EX ones, that's why. No, wait, what? It's on both. I don't know. I can't read any of it anyway. I'm making guesses. Oh man, a 3D render! A 3D render of the pop-up store! The Dud Zone. Okay, there's the old trailer there. Alright. So now I will jump to the Mirror Dungeon. Okay, there's 16. I'm just gonna do it like this, so instead for Tricker. So as the February 19th update, so next update, main story 290. Remember, there will be a double bonus thing with Mirror Dungeon swap, so make sure you get that. I'm gonna get it immediately, but yeah, make sure you get it. So Mirror Immortality will be 12. Make sure you got everything done in Mirror Immortality. Remember, 50 normal runs. Only normal difficulty will be added for schedule update, and then a start tier of Mirror Immortality will not be removed, not carried over. So reset of Starlight. You'll be starting Starlight Divin by default, so you can start using Star System. Wizard add more like what's it called, meta progression. I feel like that was like a fun thing to do. It's like, oh, I get more buffs now, and then also have the other thing since there's now extreme. So I feel like that would be that's really like the actual like long-term progression. Alright, I don't really like just like, oh, you have to start completely from scratch and take all your ego diffs, even though it is easy. I'm reading while reading the Bible. I would want more buffs so it does smoother. Hard difficulty will be later. Different bounce out of certain enemies, or you can just be adjusted in the process. The schedule update. Okay. Your music weekly bonus eligibility will be reset. So will reset. Rewards are incomplete for inaccessible after the progress reset. So achievement rewards will become unavailable. Make sure you get all your achievement rewards. Claim them too. So I mentioned this earlier. Double reset, it will reset again when it's those 53 normals next week. So let's watch out for that. If the dungeon, as previously, does not cost any resources and you spend at the end, enemy levels will be raised to 60. Artificially level increase. Certain race of stars effects will be updated. Add function to one trick select all race of stars and one trick enchant them all at once. 1 new theme pack and 4 new ego diffs. Our difficulty ones will soon have the Kanto ones, which will just be, I'm assuming, long battles with the death unit fights. So I'm assuming the first apprentice fight and the next Nursefather will be a part of it. All the other ones have things. Oh, Lucio as well. So I'm thinking there's 3 fights is my guess. Maybe they're all 3 at once for the Unsevering theme pack. Certain ego diffs will be adjusted. Quality of life UI elements added to Meter Shop. Ego diff sources will be improved. Trading your team. It will be fixed for normal. And then your uptime ego filters will be reflected. So levels will be fixed, but upties are not. So are the buffs gonna be different? I see some same ones. This starts assuming going for the top to start reserve. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this to start for infix start bonuses. Major changes. Certain effects of in-star travel and affected possibly will be changed. So they are changing them. Alright. I may have to burp there. I just ate an apple earlier before I retorted. Alright. So Drake starts less usable the longer the game is played. Just the effects of before. So the theme first time. And 4 plus. Oh, okay, so it's more for completion now. So Trust Power plus 1 and then Trust Power plus 2. Okay, I like that. Okay, so now it's just if you have 45 plus theme packs, does it reset the theme packs though? Do I have to do them all again or no? At this race of effect, ego diff felt less toss effective for other races. Added a new effect to Visage type ego diffs. The possibility our opponents named 1 dark Visage. And then faint Visage, Chuku Visage, so that's the first 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. That's perfected possibility. Which one was that? When using the Drake Star's perfect possibility, you now refresh the list of its ego devs. Your perfected possibility activate. Oh yes, that's the tier 3 one, so that should be the 60 tossed one. However, no other egos apart from those that may appear will appear. There are only 3 selectable tier 3 ego devs instead of T or Tether, your first will not be available. Or 2 or fewer. Tier 2 ego diffs may appear. That does happen for the was it the slash one when I did it? Or was it here? So one of the damage types then have free, so it put a tier 2. Please note, ego diff refresh function will not actually confirm if you like to refresh, or immediately apply upon pressing the button. And you often select all or enchant all. Okay, I don't really do that. It's exactly as it says. Enchant does not select the Draces. So pick the Draces and you press enchant all and enchant them all. Alright. Starting ego diffs. Percent of ego diffs to choose from. Fixed to a series, select the main ego diffs derived to from each category. And then the ego diff category you pick will appear more frequently. Ego diff search. Free additional ego diffs. Only comes available when you activate ego on. So if you remember, swap it on if you want to use it. Alright, a lot of it is just the repeated stuff. Oh, and free packs. Major changes. 1 new theme pack has been added. Theme pack search. Okay, is limited to what provides each use. Something new, please not access. I don't know why I tossed that for 50% more. Once it's with them, people play the new ones. That's probably what they want to do. Okay, counters. It's really going over the same stuff. UI, this is where, okay. Top right corner is shop UI. Top left, right? Huh? Your turn. Okay, so there's a team button right here for the new loadout. Ego diff sorting will be improved for enchanting. In Cell Infused, which is ego diffs will be sorted at the top of the list. Okay, that's done. And enchant diffs will be sorted at the bottom of the list. And enchant Cell Infused, they will now sort them by tiers by default. And sort that recent will be added. Oh, okay, that'll be interesting. When ego diff has been purchased, it will automatically be moved to the bottom of the list of ego diffs at the shop. Okay, yes, before it just be at the same spot, and when you refresh, then they'll be back at the top. Now they're moved to the bottom. Alright. If the location of Vestiges, ego diffs will not be affected by your sort order. And Cell Infused, they'll be fixed at the top. And yet will fix the bottom. This own ego diffs will retain the previous sort order, which is by reset. Replacing stills, okay. Super shops, to identities, also asserts. Which oh! So you now pick which identity still to replace. This is a new force to pick and choose identity. So that is assuming extra toss, but you can actually pick the one you want. Refreshing, nothing random. This will be helpful for some identities like Bum East Soldado Sinclair, where in Extreme, they should only be ever using their still free. If they don't have their still free for every SWAT, Felbow at them. Alright. And now view the turn number of topics each still has in the still replacement menu. Okay, so yeah, before it didn't tell you that, right? It just says, oh, turn 1 into 1, 1 into 1. It won't tell you how much of each. Okay, now you turn, okay, no. Free wish making, you can spend, and then you increase it. That's at 99.99. Time of reward, okay. Yep, same thing. Trials, refuse this, or a random active trial will be added regardless. 4 new ego deaths. Oh, Tira's Blades, it's a Book of Vengeance, so yeah, I'm assuming Tira will be added as a fight then, since they can just be added. Maybe we'll do all the apprentices, since I know they do have death sprites, so they can throw them in the mirror dungeon without making any new assets. The new ego diffs will appear starting from normal difficulty. 2 blunt, 1 T-Birds, and 1 burnt ego diff will be added. Okay, so 2 blunts, and that's a hammer. T-Birders will be whatever those are. It will be adjusted. Alright, so ego diff adjustment section of this notice. It's also egos will be changed. Sebastian gloves toss changed from what? Yeah, those are 3-star ones. Why they increase them? Burn is already pretty bad. I mean, I tried Burn in Extreme immediately when it launched. Burn has to be the worst. What do you call it? Stats effect for Extreme. Now it's made it tough even more. Rupture's fine. Just the high shows are just really dead in it. Yeah, they're probably easiest team. No, Tremor or high shows are probably the easiest because they have a lot of support stuff. Just complete and start rewards. Okay, same thing. High floors, hard difficulty, more starlight. To invest in railway path, more starlight. Time reward cards, more starlight. Yep, I made changes. Yep, you already mentioned that. And then YiSang Saints, we're obtaining single first time opportunity to start for the following. A new obtained 3-star, period of time. Yeah, same thing as before with the star system. And of course, you not did it once out of the thing. Ego diff adjustments. All right, it's written based on enchanted versions, but it won't tell you the enchanted ones. Oh no. Ineffective ego. So pinpoint logic circuit. So it cannot stack with move and reg Heathcliff ego passive. Is on hit. There's not buoyancy. Inflict 1 visit reg microchip must be enemy 3 times per turn. So it's some pretty change. So before it went all envy stills, they divide by Toyin's burn potency on target. Now, if they have max burn potency, inflict 1 resident reg microchip once per enemy 3 times per turn. Does that remove the old effect as well? If you don't remember what the resident reg microchip is, so I'm assuming that is the same exact thing. Let me put all my tabs. Yeah, 1 resident reg microchip, So that's max stack 2. Take plus 10% damage from Wrath and enemy stills trash woos, then 1 burn per turn. Turn and woos 1 stack. So I don't know if I have the old thing for the what was it? Burn potency, unique burn, this will burn potency by half the thing. Don't know if they'll keep that or not. Pain of Stifled Rage. Okay, so this was the haste one for the first 2 identities. Removed. Okay, the 1 and 2 restriction. When inflicting burn unique burn for effect to an enemy, it has burn unique burn. No, after when inflicting burn potency count unique burn. Okay, assuming it still has the hasten. So if I just still own the ego diffs, rage. Yeah. So before it was the haste one. Yeah. So first 2 we're doing inflicting burn, then 1 haste next turn. If the R has haste, then 1 haste and 2 offensive will up instead once per turn. Now it's for the entire team. Hopefully this will help a bit with the truffle in extreme. Except for burn is the weakest. Ardent Flower. If we plus Wrath Res, so inflict burn potency or count or unique burn, then flash power +1. So I'm assuming, yeah, okay, so this has removed parts. So that does stack with the other part of the ego diff. This will stack with the turn Ardent Flower as well. So 3 Wrath Res per potency, trash power +1, 3 plus Wrath A res, or 6 plus, then 2 trash power instead. So let's bring up Ardent Flower. I think it's right here. So this only applies to 1 and 2 still, though, doesn't it? Yeah, it still applies to 1 and 2. So it's burn, plus 50% more damage, percent potency on self, or less HP. Yeah, okay, so now it just gives more trash power to those 2. And WB Flask was a bleed one, right? Flask. So, oh, this is for when an ally dies. So when you have an ally die, it heals the team, increases Bloodfest, and then the offense level divided by that. Max 6 rounded down next turn. So now, this is on enemy till. Increases. So that means, does it remove the ally till? No, a turn if allies have been defeated. I was in 2 attack power up next turn. So now enemy till increases Bloodfest by enemies max speed by 10 max 50 Bloodfest. With updated effects that used to only affect ally deaths, now on enemy till it grants Bloodfest, ally death gets offense level up. It says attack power! You messed up! It says attack power. It should be offense level, but it is nerfed from the max 6 offense level, so now it's only 2 offense level, I'm assuming. But yeah, I'm assuming that's a complete overhaul. It's or the 2 attack power up add to the 6 offense level. I'm not too sure. Respite. What's the heck is respite? Respite. Oh, it's this one. So this is the we count and the offense up equal that value when in the throwing. So now no longer applies to 1 and 2, it applies to the entire team. Alright. Yeah, attack rate says this will help with bleed count starting off and more offensive in the later ones. And contain maggots. Wait, that's from the first Santo feedback. So before, when using Druidany attack skill, it's an enemy now on hit with a Rust or Druidany. And then it has the percentage for maggots. Bloody Mist. Poor turn power +1 to also affect bleed potency. After plus 20 stills, I think. Oh, okay, so now it's just only plus 20 ones. And deal 30% more damage, so another bleed buff there. Wholeness, this is the Entorp ones. Okay, whenever frantic identities, they plus 25 damage and targets with bleed. SP is max. Prevent using firepower +1. After, Entorp frantic identities deal plus 25% damage against all enemies. Our SP is max, or at a 3+1 res was formed last turn, leading firepower +2. New Entorp frantic identities deal 50% more damage against mechanical amalgam enemies with base stills. Alright, so that firepower +2 is going to be good. That will help. That's increased from 1, so they still suck. They still need to have some conditionals on it. Like, I fought them for the final boss. I used them on the final boss of Tanto 9. They're not good. They don't even did the hits in for the debuffs most of the time. So, Tavetting Thorn. That is Bloodfest by 100. I misspelled Thorn. Crown of Thorns, Tavetting Thorn. So this is from line 5. So, let's see the differences. So new, time start, increase Bloodfest by 100. Now turn start, inflict 2 Druidinous Thorn as enemies or parts with bleed. If all enemies have it, then inflict 4 Druidinous Thorn, and then that is the bleed count equal to Rust Res, removes Druidinous Thorn. It has affecting bleed potency beyond 99, uses Bloodfest equal to that, and a defense will down next turn. So now it'll be every turn, so 3 turns it inflicts that. Artistic Sense. So that should be when new. If this still inflicts sinking potency or talent, so unique sinking, you plus 10% damage addition to above. So Artistic Sense is a funny one because this one, once you upgrade it, it's just a 50% damage bonus to every abnormality or non-sandy one. So now it has an additional thing for what do you call it? Plus 10% extra to sinking identities. So it was already really strong before in every team, if in late stage, but now has an extra bonus for sinking, because it's a sinking one. Refraction Drast Pod is being buffed. So this was the Tanto 6 one for Gloom damage instead when they're on sinking with sandy ones. So before, if there's -45, deal sinking potency divided by 5, 3 times per still. Now after, target -45, deal sinking potency on target divided by 2 Droom damage once per still, and deal sinking potency on target divided by 2 Droom damage once per still. Huh? New. Okay, if the still hit an enemy that inflicts if the still hit an enemy inflicts sinking, so sinking talent, unique sinking, intruding, instead of dealing sinking potency on target divided by 2 Droom damage. Deal sinking potency on target Droom damage. Each turn's effect only applies to the first sinking, inflicting his still that hits. Each turn. Only the first one. Okay, so before, that worked on every unit, I guess. So if you're running dual status ones and you have sinking. So now, it's divided by 2 once per still. Droom damage. And then a sinking target would just use directly a Droom damage by sinking one once per turn. And the normals would just use once per still one. Okay, and then old Dopo rope. Oh, you might question it's even more final trash power. Alright, that's good. Maybe should have threw in some defensive stuff as well. But Shutterbound Cannon. Delicatness, what? These effectively have the same effect as previous dancer. Further effects now overlap to have different sources of increased damage. They just made an entire new damage of fragile one? Is it taps out? So now, oh, you need 2 firepower and delicateness. Okay, fine. Final power up effects to like minus 20 stills. Okay, so we rewrite into plus 1 power, 20 power, power for negative 1. So Bloody Misting's base power and identity or support order. Emitted generated now says base power. Okay, so that's good for the 2 negative ones. 3 now. Oh no, the lobotomy torque ones as well. Alright, there's 4 main negative sandy ones now. So base power plus 4. Okay, so now, yeah, I don't have to do every one of these. It's just gonna be all around for all these big ones. Type LEYP. Oh, that's for all pocket watches. Base power plus 8. Yeah, so that's good. That's good. Automatic addition improvements. 3 new theme packs with a hard one. What the heck are they even gonna do? Railway Line 1 Bach DAC. Unsevering, which of course was maybe fixed random one. And then the Apprentices as another theme pack. That's my guess. Okay, Terse and Breast ones. Okay, 3 Terse Eagerness and 3 Breast ones. Terse or provide only negative effects over upon means conditions, placed by Breast Eagerness to provide positive effects. Be choice events for certain set chance to appear. There will be 12 new ego diffs in total, and 4 hard difficulty exclusive fusion ones will be added. I'm assuming for the new faction ones. New choice events will be added. Quality of life. Alright. UI element to work use that all ego diffs are tried for fusion recipe have been obtained, as well as a function to fuse them right away. A UI element asking the user would like to deploy additional healing when healing sinners in shops. A UI element that adds more sorting options such as filters to review specific ego diffs. A UI element in feedback structure menu to view detailed information for the featured bosses. The element to highlight feedback some ego diffs. The element to maximize ego diff enchantment level for pressing a button. The element to feedback compendium. So which for each feedback feature in. So that'd be good. I have on the wiki to see that now, but that'd be good to see which floors they're on. The skip button when entering choice events. Ability to move between mirrors and nodes by using direction keys and the enter key on Steam version. A warning pop-up when not all available ego diffs have been selected. That's good. I messed up multiple times where I actually did not select the ego diffs multiple times. It happened 4 or 5 times in a row. I didn't select it. Oops, I did it then. I did it then. 5. That was insane. Alright. Yeah, achievements will be added with 6 to 10 later. And then extreme mode will be added for 4's 11 to 15. So I'm assuming they'll have a new feedback for that. New hidden boss. Don't tell me they're making the Canto 9 boss a hidden one. Also, that would be pretty bad with the Furioso Replica. That does not work as a hidden boss. That will not work as a hidden boss for Furioso Replica. That's gonna be horrible. Just make them into a normal like theme pack one. Or maybe they'll have one of the special ones then. I don't know. This one's also 11 pages. What? What is 11 pages? I'm gonna go through it like this then. So no zooming in, I guess. Alright, took a small break. So, serve for 8 minutes. Schedule maintenance. Same time, 2 hours. Alright. New content. Target Distraction YiSang, Hongru, and Hongyang. I missed this last time. But yeah, it is a target distraction Hongyang. Yeah, only the one identity. New package, ignore. New content, Mirror Names and Spiders. Mirror Dungeons, the previous one, Mirror of Mentality, will be destroyed. Permanently deleted content. And then, no Star will carry over. And then there will be some starting Starlight, because that's the new one. And then, survey results for the, Post 1009 Ryoshu in-game illustration font. Alright, so, okay, so, the result, 20 survey entries. Duplicate IDs, non-secret IDs, and American printing buttons have been extruded. Okay. Impression. EN. Okay. Hero expenses return front. What? 4 categories. Is the font somewhat injury and somewhat history? We confirm that necessary variable on the English kind of use. So the different brushstroke are similar to the previous version used by Ryoshu. Yeah, I don't know anything about the font stuff, but yeah, it'd probably be better to have one similar to be used by Ryoshu. Instead of being a new font, have it be somewhat similar to the old one. Alright, so font change direction percentages. I didn't really say anything about this. Remember, I don't know much about foreign language fonts. Okay, here changes the font of style, but which direction would you prefer? So, yeah, I don't think I need to brushstroke font. Details, preferences during turn version of the font were if we split down the middle. Also, let's include that turn font may not tell us also appropriate for professional managers. Also, the words that were typed in direction stored are written in Chinese characters. We would like to proceed in the direction that looks the most natural and appropriate for us, for users who are primarily familiar with them. In responses, we will be updating a turn font to something similar to our previous brushstrography font. Alright. Localization text issues for the JP version. I've had numerous instances where JP versions of text descriptions is different from the TR and EN versions. We fixed the following for the 19th update. Please read for details. Furthermore, in order to prevent any future mistranslation issues for the parts concerned, we have added to our localization process an additional proofreading stage based on a compiled list of in-name string tags, official phrases, and important terminology. For this measure, we will strengthen our string process to identify and prevent missing text, misplaced phrases, and misplaced tags. We sincerely apologize for inconvenience. More Office Fixer YiSang still one. Can't read that. Bloat YiSang, Eagle Awakening choice. Why am I even reading these? But YiSang had a lot of issues. What? Fast. Wait, no. Oh. This is where most of it is. Oh! Exclusive effect, faded, promise, affection and hatred. Behead Heath Twips. Boring Raph. I don't have to go through all the examples of those. Bug fixes improvements. Improves the image display that changes after turning inventory chapter 9. Fixes to where the effect application of the ego lift once the blessing was different from its description. Road effect 1. When hitting an enemy with it said still, the initial end effect next turn. I think I may have bit too much during that break. Oh man, but in effect, effect only apply when a pierce still is hit after killing an enemy. This will now properly trigger in the turn after killing an enemy. Per the text description. One effect 2. After opening the ego lift n times per turn. For one effect, hitting an enemy with a pierce still. When defeating an enemy with the sun still. After the text description will be changed to once per turn for each identity matching the actual effect. I'm muted. Wait, I'm muted? How long was I muted for? Yeah, I went over this. There's some issues with the this here, the text description, once per identity, killing an enemy with pierce still or something. Alright, places you wear the slash pierce, blunt, base attack skills, then trash by +2 from the ego disc, broken great sword, doing manual book 3 and book of vengeance, applied to all damage types. It did? I didn't notice. Why did they remove it then? An issue where the effects of the ego diff triggered more than 3 times per turn. The fixed issue where the start effect of the ego diff original perception modifier would apply even when the start of ego diffs instead of stills is triggered. Oh. Oh man, wait, like if you sell them? Huh? This issue where the option pay for the gear to be selected even when the player has insufficient toss during the Black Iron Barring choice event in the Mirror Dungeon. Again, it's a misdivision issue with the ego diff Titian Heart. Once per turn for each character, including counter stills and excluding ego stills. There's future for Easters and Tasters. Extruding ego. Ooh. It extrudes them. Fix a mistranslation issue with the ego diff Reminiscence. There's identities saying poised count for stills, but there's identities that think poised potency or poised count with their attack skills. Now it's it processes poised count. Alright. Improve the UI so that the free refresh and toss refund text pops up when using the shop refresh function in the Mirror Dungeon. Implemented operation code to prevent lagging issues when using identity takeoff ticket. Alright, this is where keywords were not displayed when viewing identity information in the Story Dungeon and Mirror Dungeon loadout streams. Issue where red bubble alert system, would display when entering the Mirror Dungeons while new stories are highlighted in the drive stream. 1,300 Lunacy for the JP text issues! Yeah, and 300 from here, 1,600 total! And new content being just reused content! Yay! Okay, that's actually it. Almost 50 minutes, 49 minutes right now. Okay, I'm gonna have to edit this. I need this for the thumbnail. Wait, bro, come on, free page identity now. Actually, is this like the second or third one actually? I'm not too sure.